But then it got kind of out of hand, so I kind of restarted because I wasn't sure how to control the panel. I realized that we have to do one-on-one is the best way to do things. One-on-one is the only way. That's the lesson I've learned. So here's some music.
L, top shin bass.
Oh, that music kind of went out. Let's get some more. Instead of music, let's get some JJ Hecht to go. Because that's actual good content. Let's see here. 1 second. Let me pull it up. Here we are. Yo, welcome to those just joining us. Just trying to get a small panel, because earlier I realized if you have more than like a few people in a panel, it gets out of hand fast. So we have to do our live where we only have like maybe 1 or 2 people on a panel at a time. Kind of learned my lesson. This last panel was brutal, dude. If anyone was there, brutal. 2 words. It was very harsh because a lot of people talking over each other, and no one could really get a word in. And yeah, it was just really painful to deal with. So we're just trying to get a small panel. In the meantime, I'll try to play something from
Continue to learn more. You'll continue to do more.
18 what is this? This is from 1989 from Baruch Hecht was a someone who talked about the Lubavitch Rebbe's talks. So we're just gonna play that until someone joins.
It says the Rebbe, that's the time when Jews gathered.
Here, let's see if you can hear it.
We come
This
back
is from
the camps,
1989.
and we gather together, and it's right at the end of the month. We have already blessed the new month, Chodesh Elul, with Shabbos V'Vochem, and month of Elul is a month of Cheshma Nefesh. That's the time when we have to start preparing already for the new year, which will be a Shana Tova Mesuka, a good year and a sweet year. It says the Rebbe, that's the time when Jews gather together, and especially the little Kinderlach, who are part of God's Cheder. This is a new terminology that I've heard from the Rebbe for the first time. We are in the Rabbeinu Shalom's Cheder. We are in God's Cheder. We're in His Cheder. And each one of us is called the Tzivis Hashem, because each one of us is a soldier of the Rabbeinu Shalom. And when we are in God's Cheder, we understand why we were able to enter in God's Cheder, because we're doing everything that we can to fulfill what the Rabbeinu Shalom wants from us, and everything that the Rabbeinu Shalom expects from us. So, and the Rabbeinu Shalom takes a look and sees that we're good kids and we want to do the right thing. So he gives us the ability, he gives us the koiches to carry out all the resolutions that we Kinderlach have made from, and our Father in heaven, Avinu Shabbat is the one who sees to it that we should be able to accomplish what we want to accomplish. Not only you Kinderlach, but also the
This is Baruch Hecht, who was a secretary, or not secretary, who was like an agent of the Rebbe to translate his talks to children. And this is from 1989 on the 28th day of the month of Av.
To conduct themselves with these children, how to guide these children, how to train these children, who are the Rabbeinu Shalom children. So through you, they're also blessed. And they come along with learning Torah, which we, and not only is this an Indian of learning Torah when you're in camp, but also when we come back, we have yet more time to study. It's a full day when we're already together back in our home with our parents. Then we go back to our cheder, we go back to our Talmud Torah, go back to our yeshiva Ktana, wherever it is, and where we show that in our daily conduct, where we conduct ourselves, how we are obeying Avinu Shabbat Shamayim, how we're doing what our Father in heaven wants us to do. So the Rabbeinu Shalom says the Rebbe has special brachas. He has a special set of blessings for Atzloche, that you should have more success than any other ordinary kid who's not in your category. First of all, says the Rebbe, you should be gesund, you have to be healthy, and you have to have peace of mind, and then you should be able to sit and learn Torah and fulfill the mitzvahs in their completion. How is that done? If you have a happy heart, if you have no daigas, you got no worries, you got no problems. If everything is good, you got your health, and you got everything that you need. So the Rabbeinu Shalom makes it for you very, very pleasant through his special brachas that you should be able to accomplish everything that you have to. And how is it done? It's done in the kind of a way that one mitzvah brings the other mitzvah. When we do a mitzvah, so we understand that from the study of Torah and the fulfillment of the mitzvahs, we bring along another mitzvah. And through this new mitzvah, that the study of Torah and the fulfillment of mitzvahs have brought us, we add another mitzvah, so automatically the payment becomes a bigger one. So the Rabbeinu Shalom has to pay us more, so he has to give us more special brachas. So what the Rebbe is trying to explain to us, Kinderlach, is that's a very simple thing. The more you do, the more the Eibishter is going to keep on giving you, because you keep on adding up the responsibilities for the Rabbeinu Shalom to have to come along and repay you for all the good things. Not only to you, but also to your parents and to all the Mechanchim who brought you up, those who have worked with you and trained you and your Rabbeim and so on, your teachers, and made it in such a way that to teach every child according to his level, to know exactly, to be a machanech, to be an educator, to understand what every child needs. Not all children are alike. But since not all children are alike, so you have to know, if you're a machanech, if you're an educator, you know exactly how to conduct yourself with those children. So, and what does Shlomo HaMelech tell us? Kam ki yaskin. And so the Rebbe says two things. This brings about, the taich of the pasuk is very simple. The Rebbe says that if you teach a child properly when he's young, when he'll be older, that education will help him, because that will help him into his old age. He'll never forget what he was taught. But the Rebbe said another nekudah which is very beautiful. Kam ki yaskin, you're going to become old people. You're going to reach old age. So the chinuch that you're getting now from your mechanechim and your parents and your rabbeim, the Rabbeinu Shalom is going to make you very healthy, and you're going to live a long life. And you're going to continue to do mitzvahs to Ma'aseh Tovim, and one mitzvah will bring another mitzvah, and that's where it'll continue to go. You'll continue to learn more. You'll continue to do more mitzvahs. You'll have more Torah. You have more Torah. God got to give you more repayment. So it's a beautiful business. You keep learning, and God keeps paying you back. And with all the conditions that are tied in with the learning of Torah. Show how true Yiddish and Kinderlach have to conduct themselves. And here goes another punchline. As much as you learn today, so you have to understand that every day is Lahali's Bakodesh. A soldier has to make progress every day. What does this mean? As much as you learned yesterday, you learn today more. By virtue of the fact, because now today you have already the Torah that you learned yesterday. The new Torah that you're learning today elevates you more. So the Rebbe writes, tells us the Hal Bakodesh means not only that you add in learning, but you become higher in learning. It elevates. You have more chiyus, you have more life in it, and you'll be mitzvahs, not only for yourself, but you also to see to it, to influence your friends, the girls their friends, the boys their friends, that they should also do so, and they should also get the special blessings of Rocha and Atzlacha, and all the chaverim, and all your friends, and all those who do you come in contact, because we are the Rebbeinu Shalom's children. And the Rebbe said, it's Am Chochem and Omer. We're of a very, very wise nation, very wise people. And we are Kinderlach, right from the time we were born. We are already...
Hello. Welcome back to the party.
Yeah, that last one got a little bit out of hand for sure.
Yeah, it was hard to talk. Everyone's talking over each other, so it's always better to do I realize I'm kind of relatively new to doing this. I think it's better to do one-on-one or one-on-two, maybe 3, 4 max, but maybe even that. It depends who, but still. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to talk about. Last time I tried to debate the Quran. trying to explain how burden of proof works. Like, they have to prove that it's true, but they're just saying things that are in it. But that's not proof that it's true, so whatever. But yeah.
You're never going to get a burden of proof, though. You can't. And as much as that's why I say history has proven the Torah correctly, not just authors that wrote the Torah, but enemies of Israel have wrote about the people and events, substantiating events.
That was brutal. Yeah, when I unplugged the phone by mistake, then it keeps on restarting the whole thing. So literally the plug went out for like a second, and then the rest is... Yeah, that was pretty brutal. At least it still resumed. Kept all the likes. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Oh, long time no see.
Yeah, I was wondering what happened because I got froze. That's the second time this morning that I was in another pro-Israeli live, and we're just discussing, the war and stuff, and all of a sudden everybody froze just like that.
Yeah, well, what happened with me is my charger, when my phone the charger unplugged because I knocked it, and then the whole phone, reset the TikTok for a second, and then it had to resume the live, so maybe that's what happened to the other guy, maybe, he closed TikTok or something by mistake, and then he had to reset it, or had to resume it at least. Probably that's what happened.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, what were we saying? Just maybe it's a sign for something. I don't know what. Disconnecting. Yeah, were you saying something before or no?
No. What I was saying is, what he was saying was an absolute lie, that other sources support that the Quran is historically accurate. There is no other sources that talk about the Quran except itself, the Hadith about itself, and it's just factually wrong. Where historians have talked about the Torah, have analyzed the Torah, wrote about people in the Torah. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, also the reason why we know the Torah is divine is because the Creator revealed Himself to millions of eyewitnesses who are the direct descendants of all the Jewish people today, and we have an unbroken chain of the leaders of the generations, from Moses all the way to the modern day, essentially. Each of those leaders had millions of followers, entire nations, and it all goes back to the Creator revealing Himself at Mount Sinai to tell him to listen to Moses. So there's a lot of other sources, but when it comes to other religions, essentially it all goes back to just one person's testimony, just claiming that's true, and that's pretty much it. But yeah. Basically.
I just have a problem when something comes from the 7th century, and that book that comes from the 7th century copies almost everything from the Torah, and they get all their prophecy from the Bible, books that were written long before, centuries before, and they're calling that, I mean, the future, they actually use skyscrapers. They've called that prophecy.
Yeah, it doesn't even say skyscraper, it just said tall building. I mean, that could mean anything. I mean, there's tall buildings since for thousands of years. I mean, pyramids, the temples in Jerusalem were tall. I mean, Romans built tall buildings. I mean, literally everyone is building tall buildings, forever.
That was my point on bringing up the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the prophet. One of the other prophecies in the Torah says like, oh, like if only there's gonna be like ships in the sky or something. But I mean, now we have airplanes, whatever. I mean, things just happen eventually. So whatever.
And with Muslims, everybody is a prophet. Everybody.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, why can't I say the Creator revealed Himself to me and He told me the Quran is false, so therefore believe me? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why they can't? Why they shouldn't believe? According to their own logic.
That's and for the physical. I just believe in physical evidence of the scripture itself. That's why I brought up Isaiah 40:22.
What does it say there? I forgot. If I even knew in the first place.
He that sitteth upon the circle of the earth.
Yeah, the round earth. Yes, definitely.
And at that particular time it was written, men did not know the world was a sphere yet. They thought it was flat, which is why when the Quran was written in the 7th century, Muslim scholars are very embarrassed by these surahs, and they try to write it off as poetry. But you can't do that when you're describing an historical narrative of a figure for about what they would call 7 or 8 surahs, okay? And then all of a sudden say now it changes from a historical narrative to poetry. And it's a figure named Al-Jafar, who's renamed for Alexander the Great in history, and he wanted to know where the sun set. And the Quran says that he followed it, and it set in a murky pond. And that's a scientific boo-boo, because in the 7th century, men thought the world was flat. Where somehow Isaiah knew the world was not flat, he knew it was a circle, and men did not start to suppose a circular earth till Greek philosophers named Aristotle, and I forget the other one.
Ptolemy.
That's when they started thinking about these things. Isaiah was way before his time, and that's because Hashem knows his Legos. And I say that in a humorous way, since he's the one that created the world, the heavens and the earth, he would know that it's a circle or a sphere, and doesn't need man to tell him what his world looks like.
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much evidence for the Torah and then no evidence for other religions. It's the basic conclusion of it. But yeah, I mean, I don't even know what else to say about that. But I don't know, just kind of...
That's when I came to my faith as the Torah is divine. Not just that, but the great prophecies in the book of Daniel. An amazing. The atheist will say he was born in a later time period because he couldn't have possibly known what he known when he predicted the Babylon, Persia, Greece, the Grecian Empire in the later chapters of Daniel are predicted 100% by like marriages of families, political alliances and things. It's incredible. And of course, the Roman Empire to come.
Interesting.
You really studied that history of how accurate it was. Matter of fact, when Alexander came to Jerusalem, the conqueror, the Jewish people at that time showed him through their scriptures, and that's why he had mercy on them. They actually showed him.
What? Oh, I hear they showed Alexander himself?
Through the scriptures.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that. That's pretty intense.
It goes in the book of Daniel. It talks about the horns, meaning the Grecian Empire, and it said that Alexander would not have anyone in his posterity. That means it predicted he would not have any children, and it says his empire would be divided into the four winds. Okay, after Alexander died in history, he did not have any children, and his emperor was divided into four generals. So again, that's 100% prophecy fulfilled over 100 years.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. I never knew that. But yeah, there's so much exactness in the Torah. Yeah, I'm not sure what I was going to talk about on this live. I actually happen to be very tired. I was up like all night, so I might actually. I was hoping of going further, but I actually got like really tired.
Could I ask you just one question? I'm just curious. Are you Orthodox?
People say that when they look at me.
Okay, I was just curious. That was pure curiosity.
Chabad, I like go to Chabad and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sleep, my friend.
I see you have a cross in your. What was that?
I am a Christian. I am a Christian.
Okay. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah,
but
I mean, you don't have to say.
But that's. Yeah. But I try to stay in discussion when we're on topics.
Yeah.
And I don't want Muslims to divide us.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Because that's what they try to do. They try to divide Jews and Christians, and I don't let them do it. I just will not let them do it. My support, because I'm a Christian, is solely for Israel. I believe in their scriptures that land was promised to them by their prophets, and it's just that simple.
Yes.
And not to mention, I'm a veteran. I did 3 tours. I can't stand tease.
Veteran American veteran.
Yes, and that is our commonality. We are on a war against Islamic terror that's trying to conquer the world.
Yeah, I don't understand why anyone could be supporting. I mean, just the acts alone would be enough to just for like any quote unquote claim.
But go to bed, man. You're tired. I'm gonna get home and go to sleep. We can talk about this on another day.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Continue. Yeah, I'll let you know when you do live if you want to join. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Have a good night, brother. Bye bye.
Yeah. Good night. Good morning, etc. Yeah. Everyone. Yeah.